Greetings, everyone. This is Sean B, your 2X man. Happy to talk to you this week. Do a quick recap for the new members of our community. We're talking about the 2X philosophy, which is a philosophy that I came up with about 1.5 years ago and by which I've been living my life since then. Constantly developing it and becoming better until I put it down here into a strong context that I regularly communicate to the viewers. So it's the concept that wherever we are in life, if we want to become better in our lives, become better people, we follow a philosophy that states the best thing I could do now is become the 2X version of myself, a double version of myself, where I see where I am today and I envision where I want to be or where I would be if I were twice the person that I am today. So it's a very inward-looking philosophy. We're looking to change who we are inside, and we're not looking for external goals. We're not looking for external achievement or manifestations. Maybe it's a bit harder, maybe it's a bit easier. It depends on the person, but I found it to be a lot easier and more efficient in this way than when all the years I was following external goals and trying to move myself to external objectives. On the 2X plan, by working on inside qualities, I find that I'm much more consistent, I'm much more on track, and it's bringing me really wonderful results. And I hope it's the same for you. So the 4 pillars of the 2X philosophy are accept. So, typically I say I'm talking to people 50 years of age and over. That's where it was conceptualized, though I do say I believe it's valuable for anybody. But if you're over 50 and maybe you've done massive things in your life, maybe you've done some things, maybe you've skated a little bit, maybe you haven't done anything. Wherever you are, you have to accept that that's where you are. That's the first pillar of the philosophy. And if you can do that, and I know it's not easy, but if you can do it, if you can accept that this is my stage in life now, it makes this work all that much better, because it takes your reflection from behind you to looking forward. So the first pillar is accept. The second pillar is believe. We have to believe that we can be better versions of ourselves. If we don't believe it, if we don't really think it's possible for us, then everything else is a waste of time. So you really have to believe it. And I tell you from someone that's gone down this road a long way, if you believe it, I ask you to believe it because it's true. You can become a better version of who you are. The third pillar is envision. So take time, sit down, imagine what you would be if you were double the person you are today. And for each person, that's going to mean something different. I mean, I know exactly what it means for me. As I came up with the philosophy, I sat down and I imagined, okay, if I, for some circumstances, had had a different life and I'd be twice the person I am today, what would I be? And then act. And you act to become that person. So if you think, should I do this or should I do that? You say, what would the 2X version of me do? And then you do that. And believe me, if you can implement these 4 pillars, and if you can follow the philosophy, it's going to bring you great rewards. So for me, where am I now? You've been following the Instagram, you've been following the blog, you know what's going on in my life. A lot of training, no drinking alcohol for a long time, much better diet, complete switch in my professional life. In the last couple of years, I kind of had in my mind, I would like to be building something instead of helping other people build. So it was in my head, and that was one of the 2X objectives that I came up with. That I would change who I was from just somebody in his own comfort zone doing what he knows how to do to doing something totally different. And today I'm happy to say, professionally, I've changed 180 degrees. Since I always say we're only talking about doubling who we are, only doubling, and you could take that for what it means. It means either it's a small thing, but I think it's a very, very monumental, fundamental thing if somebody becomes twice the version of who he is. So I hope you can get onto that and feel that same sort of energy that I'm feeling. Now that brings me to the main point of today's video, is that I want to talk about humility. Humility is something maybe we don't confront that much in life, but at this stage of where I am on my 2X journey, humility plays a big role, and I'll tell you why. It came to me today in jiu-jitsu. I was rolling really well with a couple of people, and then class was over, and somebody who was a blue belt, now I'm only a white belt, and of course I'm much older than everybody else. Somebody else said, "Oh, do you want to roll one more time?" And I was pretty wrecked at the end of this week, so I said, "No, I don't want to," because I really have to get my strength back. But then I said, "Oh, what the hell? I'll go anyway." So I rolled with him, And he tapped me out 3 times in the roll. And the whole week had been going really well, and then I got smoked like that. And it felt like real humiliation. So it didn't feel good. But what are you going to do if you are over 50 and you're pushing the envelope and you're doing strike that over 50. If you're pushing the envelope and you're doing something that you don't know how to do and you're mixing it up with people who know how to do it, you'd be a fool to think you could conquer it right away. So, I got tapped out too many times and I felt humiliated, but I have to just put that away and say, that's just the way it is. You put your neck out there, you go beyond the limits, and this is what's going to happen to you. The second example is in the professional field. We're starting a new project, launching this company overseas, and we're trying to build a market presence. So I started the ad campaign yesterday, and I put out all these ads, got all these contacts, tried to get people to contact me back. I didn't get one response, not one. So, you could say, oh, Jesus, that is really crap. And you could feel down about it, but just turn it. And I say, look, this is a step along the way. It's like when I talked about last week with Rich Roll, having to go through all these steps in his life to turn his life around, all the dirty, ugly steps, not knowing if he was going on the right track. And so that's the way I'm taking it. Double humility, but I'm putting my neck out there. I'm going beyond of who I was. I'm becoming a 2X version of me. Things are bound to be tough. Things are bound to be challenging. And humility is just part of the trip. So that's it. I hope this message was beneficial. I'd love to get more contacts. I got some beautiful messages from people this week. Thank you very much. And I say, have a great week. Go to the blog. Go to the Instagram. Stay in the 2X path. Stay strong. Over and out.